Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content. And if you are back, welcome back. Today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat, and just in case you're new, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat stands for chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting and just chatting and catching up with you guys this evening. And I do these every Monday is when these go out, with, you know, an exception here and there, but I always look forward to getting the chance to just chat. I love listening to WIP and Chats because it feels like I can just sit down and craft, and it's like I'm just spending a little time with a friend, and it's a nice way to just sort of keep up with people. So anyway, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting, like I said, and I did check, and I had I just kitted this up yesterday, so I had this handy, and I tucked it in my in with my storage containers. The name of this piece is Plant Witch, and it's from Distracted by Diamonds by the artist Geneva Bowers. And yes, I got this back in 2020. It's been a little bit of a rainy day kit of sorts for me, so I'm excited to be working on it. Rainy day kits are just, it's a term that I kind of decided to use to refer to some diamond paintings that I have in my stash that have some sort of special meaning to me for any number of reasons, and are ones that I just sort of, you know, want to save for a rainy day. So this one I've had for a while, and I'll talk more about that in a bit, but I just started it. I just finished the first section here in the bottom left corner, and we're going to open up the next section and get into that. As far as the tools I'll be using this pen from Peachy Keen Pens on Etsy, which I know I showed it in a small shop haul a while back, but I haven't actually used it before. I was like, oh, the tip is totally clean, but it matches this painting really beautifully, I think. And then the tray is from Unimade. And this is one of the, I think, magic filament colors, and this is one of the like version 1s. If you were to get the same color at this point, it would have slightly thicker walls, and they cut back a little bit of space here so diamonds don't get stuck there. But I've been collecting Unimade trays since I think 2021, early 2021. So and they're really, really darn hard to come by. So it's not like I'm going to get rid of my version 1s. They work amazingly anyway. And then this is actually an enamel pin that I converted into a cover minder. This is from Dragons and Beasties, and just like the florals and greens and pinks, I thought suited this perfectly. I have a video where I explain just a really cheap, easy DIY, not fancy way that you can convert enamel pins into cover minders. I'll do my best to remember to link that below too. I'm going to use my wheat wax and my single placer. This is from when Laura, Anxiety Art Adventures, is the one that creates wheat wax. This is from a couple years back, and then she took a break from making it and is now making it again. So I don't think she's made this scent since she reopened, but this is an apple orchard, just in keeping with the sort of fall theme. And then I'm going to be using the caramel corn. This is from last year or the year before. Enablers Outpost Chit in my multi-placer. Speaking of multi-placers, I think last week we used the 12 placer, and this week I have been using my 10. Last week we used the 10 placer together, and then this week I'm going to use the 12 placer. In any event, I'm pulling this out of, this is another pen. I'm not using it today with you guys, but this is from Norse Alchemist, and it was another one of the pens that I got to match, pulled out to match this painting. So I'm going to clean this out and put some new putty in there and get this pen loaded up, and we can get started, so bear with me. I've seen, by the way, a lot of people lately in multiple Facebook groups talking about, I need to redo this, which is why I'm pulling this off, talking about how they get these metal multi-placers from Diamond Art Club because everyone is talking about them. And they go, but then it doesn't fit in my pen. I feel like I wasted my money. I want to do a return. And I want to say that, like, it's actually a good thing that they don't fit really snugly in your pen, because you don't want it to, I don't know, you run the risk of it breaking your pen, especially if it's metal. Let's see how it fits in this one. And so Diamond Art Club, it is a little loose, so we're gonna fix that. There's a couple of different ways you can fix this. My friend Lindsay, Emeralds and Fairy Lights, just did a video on this where I think she suggested, where she was unboxing these multi-placers. I'm pretty sure she suggests some different ways that you can help them fit. The way that you'll see me usually do it here is to use washi tape. I just wrap it around the base, and that just gives it a little more circumference. Man, that's a lot of putty we're pulling out. You know what we're going to try today, though, because you know what I love to do is just try things out with you guys and see if they crash and burn. Weirdly, I've seen people suggest they just put some putty around the base of the placer and use that. Should we try that today? I guess if it fails, we'll go back to the washi tape. But I mean, I've got all this putty here. So what do people do? Do they just wrap some around it? I don't know. I guess we'll try it. I've also seen a lot of people suggest, and I haven't tried this yet just because it requires a little bit more work than I'm usually gonna do. I've seen some people say, oh, I just use a hot glue gun. We're just gonna try that. Just kind of wrapping that there. Yeah, people were like, I just use a hot glue gun. And then all you have to do is just lightly twist it to sort of break the seal of the hot glue. I don't know if, I don't want to gunk up my pen. We're going to try it, okay? Let's see what happens. I've never done this before and I'm feeling so cautious right now. No, I mean, it's still spinning. I mostly pushed it out. Did I do something wrong? If you guys are the ones that use putty to help, I'm going to try this one more time, though. We're just going to go to washi tape. If you guys are the ones that use putty to help with this sort of sticking in your pen, I mean, no, it just doesn't feel that secure to me. I don't know. I'm not sold. If you're one of the ones that uses putty, go ahead and feel free to tell me if I did something wrong. Okay, we're going to try. Let's see if I can. There we go. Yeah. So let me try to like pull this off. By the way, if you hear my neighbor's dog whining and barking, my apologies. I actually had a couple of false starts with trying to get this WIP and Chat started because my neighbors just leave their dog kind of locked up outside a lot. I was being really, really loud. Yeah, no, okay. Let's grab some washi tape. We tried. Okay, by the way, check out this. I love this so much. This is an accessories holder made from resin from Amazing Craft Shop. She just had a space themed drop this past weekend. And sometimes opens for customs. I love my accessories holders from her shop. They're so good. Here's what I'm worried is going to happen. So a bunch of putty wrapped around the little rubber band that was on here. I'm afraid that's going to make this washi like slip and slide. What am I even doing? Guess what? I'm not editing this out. You guys just get to see me be trying to figure this out on camera. It's fine. We're just, you know what? Let's see if we can make this happen, because I want to start diamond painting and talking with you and not just troubleshooting, because that's not a lot of fun. Anyway, so here's just what I just wrap. I start with just wrap around a couple of times, and then we will see if that is enough to kind of, okay. Anyway, so this kit is really, really, just really pretty. I love Geneva Bauer's artwork, and I really, yeah, there we go. That'll work. All right. That'll do. That just sort of doesn't really want to sit in there. It's fine. It's more secure. I love Geneva Bauer's artwork. One of my favorite all-time finishes of a diamond painting to this day, after over 3 years of diamond painting, almost 3.5 years of diamond painting, remains a kit that I did back in 2020 called Dawn, from Distracted by Diamonds and Geneva Bauer's. And that kit was just, oh my gosh, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely glorious. And the colors were wonderful. The rendering is incredible. And it's magic. It's absolute magic. That did not work. Wow. So today is the day of epic fails, courtesy of Katie. Let's try it again. Let's try it again, shall we? We're going to try a different spot, because what could possibly go wrong? Unfortunately, Geneva Bauer's, you can't get her artwork anywhere as of the time of this filming, and not for a couple of years now, as a licensed diamond painting. Distracted by Diamonds may still have some straggler pieces. I think they might still, I think I occasionally see them restock, excuse me, or have some leftover stock of Geneva Bowers kits. But they aren't going to be getting any new ones, unfortunately. And it's really sad, actually, the reasons why. Okay, did that? Can we make this work? Good gracious. So what happened, from my understanding, is that I'm trying to remember if I heard this directly from Geneva Bowers, how this came about that I heard this, but so forgive me if I don't have the details perfectly correct. My understanding is that Geneva Bowers got really discouraged because her artwork got popular and she saw it being stolen on these cheap websites. You know, Temu wasn't around at the time, but, you know, AliExpress and Amazon and stuff, just like her artwork being stolen and used without her permission. And so she said she just decided to stop licensing it out at all. I don't, you know, I don't know the whole reasoning behind that. That's her prerogative. It's her artwork, but it just kind of reinforces to me one of the many reasons that licensed artwork should really, really be a priority. And I feel like as a sort of crafting world, crafting subset that is diamond painting, we have moved very much in that direction more so in the past several years. But I don't, you know, it's a shame that means, okay, now we're not going to get to see any more of her artwork as diamond paintings unless she changes her mind, which, who knows, she could someday. I am riding the struggle bus today. Oh my gosh. Okay, we need to start diamond painting. We're 11 minutes in and not a diamond has been placed on this canvas. And I'm feeling a tiny bit flustered. So I'm sorry if you're feeling that energy. But yeah, so it's a shame. It's a shame. But I have a few different kits by Geneva Bowers in my stash. And because, you know, I know there's not any more coming and they aren't necessarily being restocked. I picked up as many as I could of the ones that were offered and have been just sort of letting them sit in my rainy day stash so that I could work on them when, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to work on something special. So, this is actually my fourth kit that I'm working on for Drills and Chills, which is an event I'm co-hosting with Lindsay from Emeralds and Fairy Lights. It's an event that it's been going on for, well, this is the 5th year. It's my 3rd year of hosting, and I asked Lindsay to join me this year, and it's been fun, you guys. We're coming up on the halfway mark of the event, and you're welcome to join in. We run through October 31st, and we have some really kind of amazing grand prizes and weekly prizes we've been giving away, so feel free to join in if you like. But I'm just loving getting through a lot of these Halloween, and I don't have a ton of really fall themed kits in my stash, but I have a lot that fit the Halloween theme for sure. So this particular kit, obviously she's a witch, so she qualifies under that Halloween umbrella. But as I was putting together my video for Drills and Chills this past week, I did a little sort of progress update, a little check-in to show you the projects I've completed so far, do some mini post reviews where I kind of shared my thoughts on the kits and whatnot. And I realized it genuinely wasn't until I was getting into filming that video that I realized I inadvertently ended up with a bit of a theme with my first 3 projects for the event, and that all 3 of those projects featured a black cat. And I feel bad I did break that with this particular kit, but that was funny to be like, okay, well, I didn't do it on purpose, but I guess I have a lot of kits in my stash with black cats in them, and they're just the ones I sort of gravitated towards working on. I already know 2 other kits I'm planning to work on, likely in the month of October, but they'll be for the event. One will be a Diamond Art Club Halloween kit, which has yet to be released, but stay tuned for that. We've been giving away unreleased Diamond Art Club Halloween kits in our weekly Drills and Chills videos. But I have one in mind from those releases that I know I want to work on, and then I have a kit that I should be getting this weekend from Jada Gem Shop that I'm also really wanting to work on. It's so cute. It's by Martith Art, and I think the name of the piece is Ha Ha Halloween, and it's like this one of Martith Art's like adorable foxes stretched out on a pumpkin. It's too cute. It's absolutely too cute. So they're both square kits, and I have a feeling we'll both have some confetti. So I don't know. It might just be Plant Witch and then those two. I don't know if I'll try to squeeze any others in. But yeah, it's been fun. I haven't had too much. I haven't really had burnout as far as the kits that I'm working on. And sometimes when I'm doing events, I sort of feel like, oh, you know, I really just want to be working on some non-event related kits so that I can be just sort of following my nose. But I think because I have so many different kits and so many different styles and genres and whatnot in my stash for Halloween that fit the theme of the event, it hasn't been too hard to sort of find kits that don't feel like they're going to burn me out to work on. I'm really glad to be working on this one. It's been way too long since I've worked on a kit from Distracted by Diamonds, and I do consider them to be one of my favorite diamond painting companies. They've been around for about as long as I've been diamond painting. I feel like right around when I started diamond painting is when they started releasing diamond paintings. For a while they just had accessories. Patty Wax, the one of the very first alternatives, if not the very first alternative to pink wax, the pink wax that came in the kit. And then they started doing licensed diamond paintings, and they've been ahead of the game for a long time. They were one of the first small shops to do licensed diamond paintings, and I love their commitment to diversity and inclusivity, and I like their mission. And I have a lot of wonderful feelings about their kits and stuff like that. So it was one of those things. I had a similar experience towards the end of last year where I realized, I think it's been over a year since I've worked on a Craftably kit. And that is just terrible because I love Craftably and they deserve to be shown so much more love than that. So anyway, there's a lot. Oh, I forgot to put my little minder out. Hold on a second. I know this plastic actually folds back pretty easily without really necessarily needing a minder, but this minder is just too cute to not have spending some time with us and hanging out. So anyway, my bad. So sorry, you guys. Kiddos shared a school bug with me, which is just not even remotely a shock. But yeah, I feel like a lot, I don't know if any of you guys are like this, but I feel like sometimes I am obnoxiously fickle and picky about what kind of diamond painting I want to work on next sometimes. I use the app GemsFlow, which and lots of diamond painters use. It's an app that's extremely handy and helpful for tracking your diamond paintings. There's a lot of different details you can fill in, but you're not required to. I tend to make sure I fill in things that I might want to sort by or be able to see easily at a glance, like the size of the diamond painting, whether it has round or square drills. I put in, the artwork and whatnot. I put what company it's from. So sometimes I will just be scrolling my GemsFlow to try to figure out, okay, what project do I want to work on next? And that was a little bit my dilemma with this kit. After I finished my last kit, which I worked on with you guys in last week's WIP and Chat, it was very familiar from Craftably. Gosh, I loved every second of working on that kit. It was just pure joy to work on. I finished that one up, and I just I found myself wanting to take into consideration so many factors. So for example, knowing that I want to work on 2 other kits next month that are going to have square drills and likely be kind of confetti heavy. But at the same time, I had just come from working on a round drill kit from Craftably and thought, well, do I really want to work on another round drill kit right away? But then again, like as soon as I get those kits in, I'm going to want to start on them, and hopefully that's going to be really soon. And then I thought, you know, I don't want to work on another Diamond Art Club kit because I already worked on one for Drills and Chills in September, and I know I'm going to work on one in October. I want to make sure that I'm working on a variety of kits from a variety of shops. This gets tricky sometimes because just by nature, there are some shops that just offer, in terms of sheer volume, a lot more options than others. It's, you know, I'm not going to put, you know, a small shop like Distracted by Diamonds that might have, you know, 20 or 30 different diamond paintings to choose from at a given time, against Diamond Art Club, who might have hundreds and maybe 1,000 or something kits available to shop from. And so it's like, yeah, well, there are proportionally a lot more Diamond Art Club kits in my stash than any other company, but that a lot of times is just because they've been around for a long time and have offered just a huge variety and number of kits. So I don't know why I feel like I have to give sort of that disclaimer. It's like, yeah, no, I do mostly have Diamond Art Club kits in my stash, but I promise I'm always trying to work on and be cognizant of supporting small shops and you know, shops I feel really good about, and ones that have quality that I feel good about spending money on, and have art. A lot of times it's just like, do they have artwork that I enjoy? There are a couple of shops I've had my eye on and gone, I really want to make sure that I try this shop soon. I think I mentioned it before. There was one in particular that for the longest time, I'm trying to remember, I don't remember, I don't even remember which shop it was. If I did remember, I probably wouldn't name names because I don't want it to come off some type of way. But literally all that this shop had in stock was big landscapes. And I don't typically work on landscapes, and certainly not ones that are really large. And so I thought, but I want to try out this small shop, but all they have is big landscapes. I think I'll try to wait and see if they release something that is my taste and it's not like a slight against them or something like that. But I don't know, you guys. But anyway, so all this to say, I was taking that into account. I thought, I just am afraid people are going to look at me funny if I work on, you know, 3 Diamond Art Club kits during the course of this event. And so let me see if I can work on something else. If I have something else from a different small shop that would sort of fit this set of criteria that I have in my head. And ultimately, one of the biggest factors in this case was I haven't worked on a Distracted by Diamonds kit in way too long. And it's fine that I'm working on 2 round kits back to back. You know, I generally prefer to alternate between rounds and squares. Like, I kind of have that itch to work on a square drill kit because I've done a couple. This is my, you know, 2nd round back to back. I'm like, ooh, I like squares. I want to work on those. Then I do square kits and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go back to a round. I need both in my life. But I don't know, you guys, you tell me, are you at all this way where you're sometimes have a hard time trying to decide what project to work on next because you're trying to balance a million different factors? Or is it just me? But yeah, so anyway, but I'm happy I'm working on this one. It wasn't like it was a hardship. But yeah, anyway, just all those things. But I did, by the way, I realized very belatedly that I let my 3rd YouTube channelversary pass by. I found myself not really paying as much attention this year. I knew it was sometime in either August or September, but this year in particular, August and September have been very, very, very busy months where it felt like my mind has just been very occupied by, like August, by other things. Like in August, the kiddos were home from school and didn't have summer school that month, and it was just a little more chaotic at home in August. And then there was just a ton of prep and ramping up that went into getting ready for Drills and Chills to start on September 1st. And then since Drills and Chills started, it's also been very hectic. But just the other day, I finally was like, look, I'm sure my channelversary has passed at this point because I knew it was at least by the beginning of September. So I happened to go back and look. I pulled up like my first video that I had posted, and I posted it on, I believe, August 5th of 2020. So I was like, oh no, this like well and truly passed, which is completely fine. But yeah, I did, as I was doing that, I then started kind of browsing a little bit and going back and looking at some of my older videos and seeing, you know, I've done various tutorials over the years, and some of the tutorials are sort of like beginner videos that I've done, you know, some of them, it was 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And I wonder what it would be like to update some of them. Like, for example, there was one that I had done that was like the top 5 diamond painting tools for beginners. And that video has been, is sticky the right word for it? Like, it's just long term has actually done pretty well on my channel and gotten a lot of views and comments and whatnot. But a lot of the shops that are featured in that particular video have, you know, gone out of business, or you know, are not necessarily ones that I would recommend, or some, you know, for whatever reason. And so I've wondered, oh, should I do a new, like, just sort of an updated version of that? And I don't know. I wonder if I would have different, if I would even change, like, what tools I would recommend are good upgrades for beginners and that sort of thing. So that's kind of been on my mind. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the idea of sort of just doing a, like a Katie's version, a play off of Taylor's version and her re-recordings of old videos, or if I should just let them be what they are and just come up with new ideas. I don't know. And who even knows what that would do to like the algorithm gods. Lots of creators will talk about the algorithm and talk about like, oh, do this, it helps with the algorithm, or oh, I'm gonna make sure I do this because this is good for the algorithm, when I feel like we're all just like trying to hit a moving target while blindfolded. I just, you know, I would rather just focus on, I guess, putting out good content. But I am curious sometimes, like, how would that affect things in the algorithm? Whatever the algorithm is doing and being quirky with today. I don't know. But yeah, that has been on my mind. Because that's one of the reasons that I even started a channel, was because I thought, I feel like I'm getting a sense for what is helpful, and maybe I have some tips or tricks or something to share that others might enjoy or find helpful. That was the reason that I even started a YouTube channel, is I wanted to help other people. And because diamond painting is such an intense special interest of mine that I've spent maybe a silly amount of time just sort of doing and analyzing and thinking on, and just, I don't know. I have all this knowledge rattling around in my brain about different accessories and tools and approaches and stuff like that. And I just go, maybe I could impart this information and someone would, you know, find it helpful, and it would make the craft more enjoyable or accessible or easier for them. So I guess that's what I go back to. But yeah, so I've been trying to be more productive in general. The past couple weeks, I've been doing a bit more with making lists and going, these are just things that I'm going to try to get done for the week, and trying to hack my brain and not be like, you have to do this today, because then my brain will go, no, I'm definitely not going to be doing that today then. I just go, you know, I'm just gonna make a list, and I'm gonna see if I can get through some of this week. Just when I feel like I can, when I feel like I have the energy, and the motivation, just all of the right factors at play, so I can get the thing done. And it's been going pretty well, especially since the kiddos started back to school, because I have that time during the day now. It's always a question though of when they're gone. It's like, okay, same dilemma that I have after they go to bed in a lot of ways actually is, okay, do I sleep because I can, you know, sleep uninterrupted? Do I do some filming because I kind of have to film while they're either at school or asleep. Do I run errands? Or do I just craft and enjoy crafting uninterrupted? And in the evenings, it's also like, well, Adam and I are trying to watch shows and stuff like that. So it's that too. So I've talked about that a lot, possibly even in last week's WIP and Chat. But I'm trying to incorporate into that in the mornings. Okay, let's take care of some business, take care of some phone calls, and get some stuff done. And it has been a little hard this past week though, because my migraines have returned with a vengeance. What's kind of crazy is that I had fully expected that summer was going to be really hard on me as far as my migraines go, because heat is normally such a big trigger for my migraines. And I just didn't find that really to be the case as much this past summer. This summer, I didn't have, a lot in the way of migraines, but just the past couple weeks, the past 2 weeks, I've had 4. I think that some of the ones this past week have been related to sinus pressure. I obviously, like I said, you can hear that I'm sick, and I've tried, decongestants and antihistamines to tackle that, and it just doesn't really seem to be helping. But the other night, I was up till, I couldn't fall asleep until after 4 a.m. because I could not kick this migraine. I had tried lots of more like homeopathic strategies. Like I took a hot shower and then I tried ice. It was like, try the hot and cold. I eliminated, a lot of my triggers. I did the things that usually can help me sort of cut a migraine and help. And then I tried both Excedrin migraine, which I am reluctant generally to take because it can just be so hard on your system. And then I also tried my prescription migraine medication, and it just would not quit. And I finally was able to at least fall asleep, because that's what I thought would help. For me, a lot of times it's a matter of I take medication and then I take a nap. If something happens in the middle of the day, I take medication, take a nap, or if it happens at night when I'm trying to go to bed, I take medication, then I can go to sleep, and then that is what does it. It's like the medication plus sleep, and then I wake up and it's gone. But I couldn't get to sleep this time, so it's been a little bit rough. I'm kind of fighting off one right now. I did consider not filming, but I felt like it'd be fine. Right now I kind of feel it hovering. I did take something, trying to drink lots of water. I'm trying to do all the things. Like I'm trying both the like non-medication and the medication routes. Speaking of, let me grab a quick drink of water. And, just having some mixed luck lately. So if I'm still running into this after this sinus issue clears up, I'll put in a call to my doctor just to make sure nothing else is going on. I'm inclined to think that it's related to this cold, and I can feel the sinus pressure that's happening, but it's triggering migraines for me. So it's just, anyway, any fellow migraine sufferers, I'm so sorry. They're debilitating. It's ugh, no bueno. And yeah, so anyway, but I was feeling lucky after this summer and not struggling with them so badly. But yeah, so anyway, I did this morning because I woke up with just some kind of motivation and energy. I thought, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the backyard situation. We have like we live in a condo, and we have this kind of small back patio and yard area in between our home and our garage, and it's fenced on both sides, and it's not huge. But just the past year or two, the greenery out there has really just been thriving. Even though I don't water it, it's still just absolutely out of control. And we haven't had much rain at all this summer. But just whatever's out there, it's like, I don't need water, and just goes absolutely nuts. And it had gotten a bit out of control, and I had needed to go to the store to get a new like trimmer or like weed whacker type thing, because it's such a small patch of grass and greenery that like I certainly am not going to get a lawnmower for it. And this just seems like the most practical way to take care of it. Anyway, so I have an embarrassing story to admit to here. So what happened was we had it's called a string trimmer. And it's, I think, just one of the cheapest options that you can get like at a home improvement store or whatever. And what it is the part that's actually cutting the greenery. It's bits of like really heavy duty string technically. And so I've learned all of this because of this really, really, really silly mistake that I made. Our last string trimmer, I assumed that I had been using it incorrectly, and that that I had just hit it against too many things that either had, plants that had too thick of stems or branches, or I'd hit it against like our sidewalk, our walkway, and that this string had broken off and that it was just gone, and that meant that this was broken and I could no longer use it. And I knew it had been really inexpensive, and so I threw it away and thought I'll just replace it. And so I'm at Home Depot this past week and go to get a new one. Adam had been the one that bought it the last time. I mean, we had it for a couple of years, but I'm in the aisle and I'm getting the one that I knew that I wanted because I'd researched ahead of time and gone, okay, this is the least expensive one, blah, blah. And Home Depot has this little sign kind of next to the string trimmers that say, oh, don't forget to buy another spool. And my brain just sort of, the pieces clicked into place, and I realized I don't think that the other string trimmer was broken. I think I just needed to put a new spool of string in there. Okay, so fair warning, I have not Googled this to confirm that this is actually what happened, but when I was looking at the instructions assembling the new string trimmer that we did not need to have replaced in the first place, I'm looking at it, and in the instructions it includes like, oh, this is how you replace the spool of string in this trimmer. And I just thought, I am so silly. I'm so dumb. I threw away something that was working perfectly fine. I just needed to go get the new spool of string, whatever you call it. I don't know. You guys, I'm not a DIYer. I don't enjoy this kind of thing. I do it just out of necessity. My husband is even less of this than I of a DIYer and like home care kind of person than I am. No shade to him whatsoever, genuinely. Like, he will say it about himself very much so, and we make it work with how we do things, and we know that I'm kind of the one that does some of these things. But I just thought, I can't believe I did that. Am I going to admit this? Am I going to tell Adam? Am I going to tell like anyone, or am I just going to like quietly just eat this silly tax of replacing this trimmer? It was $50, which is a lot of money, but it wasn't, like $1,000 or something. So you're welcome to tease and make fun of me. I couldn't believe it. I felt so silly. And I had a moment when the old one sort of broke, and I thought, I wonder if this is fixable. Like, should I try to fix this? But I was just so frustrated. I was having a particularly frustrated and overwhelmed day, I think, that day. And I thought, no, I'm just going to replace it because I don't want to try to take this apart. I'm afraid I'll break something. And I have a little bit of I'm going to call it like a slightly healthy fear of something, of this kind of tool, because I feel like, well, what if just something happens and it just, it's like trying to repair a garbage disposal or something. It's like, if a ghost haunts it and it turns on, then I'm losing a finger. Like, I thought, I don't want to start messing with trying to fix this, because if I do it wrong, I could get really, really hurt. Like, I'm just gonna replace this, not realizing that these are literally built to just have this string spool replaced. So anyway, I'm not going to throw it away next time when it runs out. I promise I will replace it, because I know it's something that's supposed to be done. I didn't want to try to repair it, is what I'm saying. I didn't want to try to Google it or YouTube it and go, okay, this is how I fix this, and try to troubleshoot, figure out what the problem was, and get the parts to repair it. I don't know. So that happened. The good news is I spent an hour today out back just cutting back the grass that had grown out of control. We have this bush that just keeps wanting to take on a life of its own and just grow like 6 feet tall for absolutely no reason. It's no business doing that. And it grows so fast. Like, I was just out there, I swear it wasn't a month ago, doing all of this, and everything has just grown back with a vengeance. So an hour out there, sweaty, gross, everything, but it looks much, much, much better out there. I think I'm gonna have to find some kind of spray, or find something to knock out we have like some weeds growing up in between like the pavers on our walkway and stuff, but I tried. It still looks a lot better than it did, and that's done. And I felt good about it. And then I promptly went and sat in front of like the AC for a while to cool down, because I was so just like, I'm so hot and sweaty. But it's done. It's done. Eventually, I want to get the back patio area just looking a little bit better in general. But that's a project for another day. For today, maintenance has been done. So, what else has been going on? Oh, speaking of being productive, I did get the kids into the dentist this past week, and I really, really like the new dentist a lot. They have a sensory room, which, really helped a lot. They were so gentle and so patient and so kind with my kiddos. It was nice to feel like I was in a really judgment-free space. Like, they're known for being able to work with kiddos with special needs, and that was especially helpful when I took in my youngest. And he does have to have a little bit of work done. They couldn't even do a full set of any x-rays, unfortunately. But by having the dentist brush his teeth, sort of, pretend like they're brushing his teeth, they were able to actually get a look in there and see, okay, yeah, we see a cavity. So, we're gonna, we're looking at ways that we can make that happen in a really gentle way. We've been down this road before. And then Connor is cavity free, and he did awesome. He was all about it. He was very tickled because they had a TV on the ceiling. And so when he was sitting there, he was watching just Netflix, and he was happy as a clam. So I'm calling it a success though. And it was, like I said, it was nice to just have such a positive experience with the dentist, and just feel really, really good about it, and really taken care of. And like, they were really, really trying to make sure the kids were comfortable. So that went well. Adam, I just got a text from him that he is on his way home. He's been up in LA most of the day. He does like hobby photography on the side, and then he was gonna go catch a movie with friends. While he was in the movie, I sent him a text because I saw it pop up that the Writers Guild has reached a tentative deal to end the writer's strike, which is a huge deal. I don't think they've released, at least before I started filming this video, they hadn't released any of the details yet. And it probably is going to take them a few days to get it hammered out, and it has to be, is ratified the correct term, by WGA members in order for it to like go into effect. But it was going to tackle a lot of different things, and like AI is becoming such a part of the conversation in so many ways. And it's like now, how many years are we into it now that we're finally starting to see, not just with movies, but like across the board, it's like we need to see some legislation and regulation happening with this stuff. Like as always, like legislation lags behind technology. But it's like we're starting to see some like court case rulings, like when it comes to AI art. And now this, like, that was a huge part of what they were striking over, was how studio execs were wanting to be able to use AI just to get out of like paying people. And it just, you could do one day of filming and then and also have signed away the rights so that they can just use your likeness and basically in perpetuity via AI. And like, that is so incredibly not okay. So anyway, I'm very curious to hear what kind of the deal is, and if it, if people are happy with it. There was more to it as well, but it was interesting. Adam and I have talked a lot about how when it comes to like writers, and I mean separately, they'll okay, so what I described with AI and using likenesses, that would apply to like actors like SAG-AFTRA, which is not what this deal is about. AI, as far as it comes to writing, like I think that this is more playing out with like TV shows and them wanting to use AI to like write scripts and stuff like that, and that's a whole thing. So I guess I should say that the SAG-AFTRA, the Actors Guild, has not reached any sort of tentative deal yet. I think that they were both striking in solidarity and over very similar things. And hopefully once things get nailed down with the WGA, hopefully we'll see things move with SAG-AFTRA as well. So anyway, sorry for all of the sort of movie industry talk, but Adam does, screenwriting and directing just sort of on the side. It's not his day job, but he does try to do that, and it's a field that he would love to break into more thoroughly. And so it's something that is certainly relevant to us and that we're paying attention to. And even if he weren't, I think it does have potentially like greater implications, like wider reaching implications for society and culture and how we approach and think of AI in general. So I don't know, I'm very fascinated and I have some trepidation, but I'm hoping that there will be some good things coming out of this. But as far as excuse me, as far as what I have been reading and watching and listening to, so I don't remember if last week I would have started it yet, or if I was just talking about starting it, or if I had just started. But this Throne of Glass series, the 5th and 6th books, I've mentioned about how I've wanted to do a tandem read of them, and I think I decided to do that along with, some friends that are reading alongside me. Well, I started the tandem read, and I'm telling you what, these books have had me in a chokehold. I have not been able to put them down. I cannot believe how different the pace and the whole vibe of these books is compared to the first several books in the series. But I'm super into it, and I'm either going to finish it. I don't think I'll finish it tonight. I think I have a couple hours left in each. I'm listening to them as audiobooks while I diamond paint. I think I'll finish them tomorrow, though. Like, I cannot put them down, and I will have blown through these 2 books faster. And they're also like the longest books in the series, I think, so far. They're each almost 200,000 words. I'll have blown through these 2 faster than I read a single other book in the series. And I even have, this is how silly I am about this, but like, this is literally, I have this chart that I downloaded from the Facebook groups that is like, okay, this is what the tandem read is you're going back and forth between the 2 books because they take place, in this case, they take place at the same time, chronologically speaking. And So it's mapped it out to be like, okay, well, so then you're going to read these 3 chapters of Tower of Dawn and then read this chapter of Empire of Storms, these 2 of Tower of Dawn, and so on and so forth. So yeah, no, I'm almost here. And then I think that, like, especially these ends of these books, I'm just not going to be able to put them down. So maybe I'll try to do that while the kids are at school tomorrow. But I'm loving it. I'm completely loving it. And I mean, I've never just read them as standalones, but I do feel like the one book, I'm not connecting with the characters nearly as much. And so I'm glad that there is this tandem read option, because, you know, then it feels like less of a slog that way. I don't know. But I did have a few of you comment on videos where I've talked about Throne of Glass. A few of you suggest, like, yeah, no, do the tandem read, or, you know, do this or that. Or some people will say, like, oh, you know, I read it straight through and it was totally fine. So I totally appreciate all of your thoughts, and, you know, I don't know, but I'm loving it. There's only one more book in this series left after this one, I believe, but I may take a little breather after so that my friends can catch up. I feel bad because I haven't been able to put it down. It's like every spare moment I'm trying to listen, and I listen at double speed, like 2 times speed, because that's the thing you can do with audiobooks and Audible. As that helps it go fast too. As far as what I've been watching, honestly, not a lot, because I've been reading listening, any time that I would otherwise be watching something. Adam and I have been trying to catch up on Clone Wars, in our effort to sort of catch up on all things Star Wars in general. I was hanging out in the living room with him the other day. He started, what's the game? It's the new Bethesda game. Is it Starfield? I was hanging over there, just sort of sitting and getting some, like, admin-y, like, stuff related to drills and chills, like emails and stuff like that done, and half watching while he was playing, and that was fun, too. That's how we used to spend a lot more time in our evenings, as often one of us would be gaming, and the other would be in the same space, maybe doing something on their computer, but also just sort of watching and enjoying the game, you know, vicariously through the other person. But I have been trying to watch some YouTube videos. I watched Shay, Crafting with Shay, if you don't follow her already. She's wonderful and she's super sweet. She goes live every Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Pacific, I believe. And today she had on Veronica, Sapphires and Ocean Waves. We joke that we're the same person from alternate realities, because there are some really crazy things in our lives that are identical to one another. But it was Veronica's birthday today. It's Shay's birthday tomorrow. And Veronica has a YouTube channel as well. She just hit 500 subscribers and unboxed a really, really pretty kit from Diamond Art Studio UK. So I'm definitely going to check out both those ladies. I just feel like those ladies are some of the kindest people, like, in this sort of space. And I just say, you guys are you bring so much light to the people around you, and we need, like, these are the kinds of people that I love being around. So if you want some of that, go visit them. As far as what I've been listening to, I mean, my audiobook, music wise, I mean, come on, it's always going to be Taylor. There's a really, really fun mashup that's going around. There's a guy, I'm totally blanking on his name, but he's, like, known on YouTube for doing these mashups of various, like, different artists. And he did this epic, like, 13-minute mashup of Taylor Swift music over the years, and it got taken down by YouTube. People keep reposting it. It's just not on his official account. And I keep seeing clips of it pop up on, like, Instagram Reels and TikTok and stuff, and it's just fantastic. And so sometimes I'll just listen to bits of that because it's really cool. But anyway, so that's kind of my watching, listening, reading. I have a little surprise for you guys that made it all the way to the end of this WIP and Chat, though. I want to kind of just discreetly do a little giveaway in celebration of a very belated celebration of my 3rd anniversary on YouTube. And so what I want to do is give away, and it's 3 years, so I'm going to give away 3 $50 gift cards to a diamond painting shop of your choice, as long as they have licensed artwork, or it can be to Etsy if you want to do some like small shopping. So just don't say anything in the comments about this. I thought it would just be fun for those of you that, you know, listened all the way through. Please, please, please don't give away in the comments that there's a giveaway in here. I would say that just to enter, could you please just somewhere in your comment, just mention how you found my channel. This is, I know this is always like a fun question. Sometimes I do this when I do giveaways related to like how long my YouTube channel has been here. I just, if you remember, if you don't remember, that's totally fine. You can just, you know, say what your favorite kind of video that I make, what your favorite kind of video is that I make, whether it's a WIP and Chat or reviews or unboxings or tutorials, anything like that. I'll leave this giveaway open for, how about I leave it open for 2 weeks, just in case. So let me see, today, when this WIP and Chat goes up, will be September 25th. And I'm gonna leave it open till, I'm pulling up my calendar on my computer here. Hold on a second. September 25th and then October 2nd. So I'll announce the winners on October 9th in that WIP and Chat. And I'm going to close the giveaway on Friday, October 6th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. That'll give me time to draw the winners, and whether I film on Saturday or Sunday, I'll be able to announce them easily there. So yeah, just good luck. Just a little, it's been a while since I've done just a general like channel specific giveaway. So hopefully that'll be fun, but best of luck. And like I said, I'll announce winners in 2 weeks, not one. So don't panic on October 2nd if there aren't any announcements, but yeah. So anyway, as far as what I've got coming this week with videos, I have something really cool to share with you guys from Diamond Art Studio UK. I shouldn't say what it is yet because I don't know when their announcement's going to go live, but they told me that I could have my video go up anytime after Monday, today. So I'm planning on that this week. I have a sneak peek from Diamond Art Club I'm excited about. Of course, we'll have a Drills and Chills video on Saturday. No idea what I want this particular content to be. It may be on unboxing, or it may be, I have a couple other ideas I'm kicking around for the Drills and Chills week 5 video. And then I'll fill something else in. I don't know what yet. I should sit down and figure that out though, but maybe a post review. I should probably do a post review of my Diamond Artisan shop kit. So maybe I'll try to squeeze that one in too. Because they're a newer shop and I want to, you know, get a review out for them. For those of you that have been wondering about them. So yeah, anyway, if you made it all the way to the end of my WIP and Chat, why don't you put up some sort of flower emoji, because this kit has been, this kit is Plant Witch is the name. We got lots of pretty florals. So just any kind of flower emoji, and let me know how you're doing, how your week's been, and what you're up to, or you know, what you did while we were chatting, and just, yeah. Anyway, thanks for spending this hour-ish with me. Like I said, I always look forward to these weekly WIP and Chats and catching up with you all, and I hope that I was able to keep you a little company. We didn't get the whole section done, but it did go pretty well, and I did struggle a little bit with, I think just because I don't know, I got flustered over the putty situation. I didn't get it set super flat right away, so I don't feel like my multi-placing is as accurate and even as it usually is. But I'm telling you what, these Diamond Art Club, these thin metal multi-placers, I don't know that I can ever go back to the AliExpress ones. The AliExpress ones are cheaper, but they're wider, and I cannot get past how amazing these like thin walls and just the thin profile in general. It lets me generally place so much more accurately and quickly. I'm not over it. I think it's completely worth the cost. The only shame is that I can't afford to buy a ton of them so that I don't constantly have to switch them out when I switch pens. But anyway, so I'm a fan. Glad they have the 10 and 12 placers now, because now I can just breeze right through those kinds of areas. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a day and a week that is as amazing as you are, and I'll chat with you in the next one. Bye.